Okay, hello again. At the risk of overdoing it, I've gotten some really good responses from some of my friends about doing blogs via video and actually just putting the topics below. So, made another list, thought about some things to say, and I decided to give you a different perspective this time. This is my work. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of big screens behind me. That's what I do all night. I watch these screens for little red beeps and blips, and basically fix the problems as they come along. So it's probably going to be a short one today, but first thing I wanted to talk about is I cannot wait until winter is over. Things start melting and then they freeze at night, and this is a recurring process that's driving me nuts. My car hates me. She hates being outside. Those of you who know Roxy know what I'm talking about. But luckily at night I get a garage spot here at work, so she gets a chance to warm up and be dry and happy. I have no weekend plans. This is probably the first weekend since the beginning of the year at least, well actually before my birthday I would say, that I've had a Saturday where I have absolutely nothing planned, no parties or housewarmings or trips anywhere. It's going to be a great thing. I'm going to sleep in, probably get some groceries, maybe prep some dinner stuff for next weekend because my sister's coming next weekend for our annual Let's Catch Up and Have Dinner kind of a thing. It's good stuff. That being said, I'm kind of out of money. I've been poor the last couple months, and a friend of mine even commented, "Why are you always out of money if you make such good money at this job?" Well, it's not really because I don't make good money. It's because I spend it all on booze, pretty much. I go out a lot, and when I do, I don't really budget. I pretty much just prep for the night, and if I run out of money, I grab more. That's something that I put on my resolution as wanting to change, but it hasn't really happened yet. So I'm going to continue to working on that, but as a sidebar to that, I actually found that one of the reasons I don't have as much money as I used to is because I've been double paying on several things. My cable bill, my Verizon bill, and my Sam's Club credit card, which I use to get tires, I have been double paying. Apparently I double scheduled it in Google. I have Google reminders set up so that in the calendar that 2 days before a bill is due, it sends me a text message and says, "Hey, by the way, pay your bill." Well, I set them all up for the 1st of the month or like the 5th of the month so that I remember to pay them, but the bill actually comes on like the 15th or the 18th or the 24th. So what happens is I pay them at the beginning of the month. I get paid on the 1st and the 15th. Well, the 31st and the 15th. And so I pay them on the 1st, and then the bill comes and I pay them again. So a couple bills I've been double paying, which kind of explains where hundreds of dollars a month are going. So it's kind of making me poor. What else? Oh, I've gotten a lot of invites to go visit people. A friend of mine from Green Bay, actually a couple friends of mine from Green Bay have asked me up. There is, let's see, I wrote it all down. Going to Minneapolis on the 21st through the 24th. Talked to a bartender that I actually got his IM from. I haven't talked to since the last time I was there. But I sent him a random message and just let him know that we're coming up. And he says he remembers me, but I'm not sure if that's the case. Not that we're not memorable, but I'm sure there's a bunch of people that have been to Wisconsin since we've been there. So hopefully he'll remember us, and if he does, he will know that we need cherry bombs. Seattle. Tom actually mentioned that he and Amber were going to go to Seattle in July. Well, a friend of mine, the Army guy from Colorado, those of you who know, I went last year to Colorado to visit a friend of mine who's in the Army. Well, he's going to be on leave in Seattle. I don't know if he's going home or what, but when he does, I fully intend on visiting him. So hopefully if that works out and our timing is right, I'll be able to go see my old place. Now I planned on doing this last year. There was a conference. It's called a con, but it's a conference for like video games and things like that. And a bunch of people get together and rent a big house in Seattle, and because this con is in Seattle. Well, it didn't happen for me this year, or this past year, because it was weird. But long and short, it just wasn't able to happen. So hopefully this year I'll be able to go out there and, you know, check out my old stomping ground, see where I used to live, and see how things have changed and updated and whatnot. I was able to find some street views on Google based on a 7-Eleven. I didn't know my old address, but I knew that it was in a town called Linwood, and it was, I knew the general like vicinity of where I lived was like a couple blocks away from a 7-Eleven. So I did a search for all the 7-Elevens, and I did an aerial view of all of them, and I found the freeway that drives right by the 7-Eleven, and, you know, putting two and two together, I backtracked a little bit on how I used to walk to 7-Eleven, and I found my old house. So now I have the address, and I fully intend on go seeing it before I die, at the very least, but hopefully this year. What else? Want to go to Toronto this year, probably for Pride, but we'll see. Hopefully that would be the optimal choice, but I don't know anybody in Toronto anymore. I know LCB, which is BJ's ex-friend, boyfriend thing, but I don't know what his connections are or whatnot, so more than likely I'd be going solo or with a couple friends, and we'd be renting a hotel or whatever. Hopefully I can actually meet some people online and they'll welcome me, like I have done so many times. On a side note, I got a job offer in Phoenix. Now, I'm really not leaning towards actually following up on it so much because the pay is different and things like that, but if cost of living works out and they want me bad enough, I might actually consider it. I'm kind of getting tired of this cold, and not that I don't think Wisconsin has a lot to offer, but I don't know that it's necessarily where I need to be anymore. The big challenge, obviously, is leaving my friends and my family. I don't know where I'd be without BJ or Bill or, you know, Tom or Lisa, just a whole bunch of my friends, Cassie, obviously. There's so many to list, but the point being, I don't know where I'd be without them, and I don't know that I can leave them. Although so many people have. Ben's left, Bevan's left, Sean's left. A whole bunch of people have moved away, and they're still living, and they're doing well. So we'll see about that. Oh, okay. Told about the weekends, Sam's Club. I think that's it. So, anyway, I'm probably not going to do another one of these for a week or so. I might get the urge to, depending on what happens over the weekend. But I think this is really fun, and I want to keep doing them. And it's a lot easier than typing. So, have a great weekend, guys, and I'll probably see most of you out at the bar.